Today we're going to be reviewing the Peavey Bandit Studio Pro 112. They were designed in the US and then they were shipped overseas and built overseas. I also have a Peavey Bandit Red Stripe. This is a Peavey Bandit Studio Pro 112 Red Stripe, but I also have an old Peavey Bandit 112 that was made in America. I'll be doing that in another video, and then I'll compare the two. These are the Trans Tube series. It more or less, makes you like, it makes it feel like a tube amp, but really it's not. It has a spring reverb. The two that I have to mount them in rubber because for some odd reason, when you go to play, it vibrates the springs and it comes through the amp. After you mount them in rubber or whatever, it quits doing that. But let's go ahead and take a look at the front of the amp. And let's go through the knobs. This one's a little dirty because a guy had kids, but the bottom one, don't pay no attention to it because that'll be in another video. It's not the one we're looking at, but it's a lot better shape. And I noticed the 112 Pro, the cabinets are a little bit smaller. So let's go ahead and take a look at the front of the panel and see what's going on. As you can see, there is a volume. This is for your clean channel. There is a modern and vintage switch that you can switch in between to get a different sound. You have your lows, you have your mids, and you got your high. That's for your clean channel. You also have a low gain input jack. Then we get over here to your lead. You have to flip a switch to go to lead. Then you have pre-gain, you have vintage, modern, and high gain. Then you have low, your mid, your high, and you have post-gain. And here is the Reverb T Dynamics, which it kind of like represents a tube amp. I usually have mine on like 45, 50, then you have your power. And you see it says Trans Tube Series Studio Pro 112, designed in the US, and like I said, it is a little dirty. But just to show you, I feel like an amp store here because I got all my amps just run through the handle of that so I can plug them in when I want. It is a little dirty. I'm going to clean it up. I just got it not too long ago. Got a heck of a deal on it. And here is the Peavey Bandit. I do play it a lot. As you can see, it is bigger. Like I said, this amp did set in the basement, so this one ain't the cleanest one you've ever seen. I haven't had a chance to clean it up yet, which I will be doing, and changing the speaker to the speakers like Peavey Bandit has. Or if you have a recommended speaker, leave it in the comments below. The back panel has a remote switch, send, return, and it has an external speaker. Now what I was talking about, if your amp fades in and out, not cutting out, but low to high, like somebody's turned the volume up and down, just take a pedal cable and just jump them to these two jacks and your amp will be ready to go. You can play your gig, then figure it out later. You get a lot of sounds out of this amplifier, and it's perfect for gigging. I know a lot of people say, well, they don't know about them. These things are perfect for gigging. I have a Blackstar ID Core 100, and that Studio Pro 112 blows it out of the water. Granted, that is one speaker compared to two, but the Blackstar ID Core, I will be doing a review in the future on that. It's supposed to be a giggable amp. The clean channel is a little low on it, but the clean channel is really loud on the Studio Pro. The gain is really loud. Now, the only problem I had with both of these amps, when I got my Peavey Bandit 112 Red Stripe, I got it with a guitar, Peavey guitar, a vintage Peavey guitar. I played it for years. Then all of a sudden, when I'd plug it in, it would fade in and out. So I just throwed it in the corner, never worried about it. And I got this Studio Pro 112 here a couple months ago. I played it and it started fading in and out. So I knew it had to be a problem somewhere. Everybody's telling me to replace the jacks, put some cleaner in there. It didn't work. I didn't even try to replace the jacks. So what I done, I took both of the amps apart and I just resoldered all the input jacks, like your low gain, your high gain, and all the stuff on the back, as you've seen, all that, just the input jacks, not the effects or the buttons, just the input jacks of each part, because what I had to do is loop a cable to get it to work. But I don't want to rely on that. So I had to loop a cable, as you can see in the jacks there, to get the amp to work. Now I don't have to do that after I resoldered all that. I don't know. It worked on both of them. So if you have a Bandit, a Peavey amp that fades in and out while you're playing, not shorting out, just it goes loud, quiet, loud, quiet. Just resolder all your jacks. But if you don't want to do that, but you need to play, like you've seen there in the video, just take your little pedal cord and jump them both over, and you have a working amp. That'll get you out of a pinch. You can't find this stuff online anywhere, which I'll have a little short video on how I fixed it so people can find it. Anyway, let's go ahead and plug this guitar in. We're going to start with the clean channel on the high output jack. I'm going to start with the clean channel. We're going to go with the vintage switch. Everything on noon. We'll just give you an idea what it sounds like. With a telly, with a P90. Just going to go through some basic licks here so you can get an idea. I am on the bridge pickup, tone all the way up, the volume all the way up, and the volume on the second dot because I have neighbors and don't want to blow the eardrums out. So this should be loud enough to give you an idea. Go to the neck position. When you go half away with the volume, it will blow this. It almost sounds like a half stack. These guitar amps are really, really good. Really, it's too loud for this room. Mike don't pick it up as good as I hear it, but really, it's too loud for this room to practice with because this is a smaller room. But you get that nice bright tone. It is an open back, but you can adjust it to get a little deeper tone, and you have your guitar too. You can get all kinds of sounds just with the guitar and just by adjusting the amp the way you want it. The EQs, like I said, are all at noon except the volume, and I am on the vintage sound. So we're going to go ahead and flip the amplifier on modern. The EQs are the same. I just flipped the switch to get the modern sound. Let's see what it sounds like. About this amplifier that this particular one, the Studio Pro, it don't have much difference between the two switches. It just cleans it up a little bit, makes it a little tighter instead of loose. I'm going to go ahead and turn up a little reverb so you can hear what that sounds like. Now the only thing I don't like about this Studio Pro, it's different from my Peavey Bandit. My Peavey Bandit also has more knobs and stuff, but the Studio Pro 112, all it takes is a little bit of reverb. Like, you'll never use that knob, like, not even halfway. It just takes a little bit of reverb to get a reverb. This is on the first dot on the reverb. I'm going to turn it up halfway and let you hear what it sounds like. So I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Is it too much? Because usually on my little Fender amp over here or my Blackstar ID Core, even on my Bandit, it takes a little bit of turning with the knob to get your reverb. This is just a little nudge and you have just enough. So we're going to go ahead and flip it to the dirty channel and see what we can get out of the dirty channel. Then if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to talk about why I like the amp and why I don't like the amp. And why I recommend this amp. So we're going to go ahead and go to the dirty channel. Dirty channel is a little buzzy in my particular space because I have this light on behind me and I have some electronics plugged in, so it kind of affects it a little bit. I did notice that these amps are a little bit fragile when it comes to stuff like that, which every amp is, but my ID Core 100 is a little bit easier about it. Your newer amps are too, but this picks up a little bit of hum when you're playing, you don't hear it. So we're on the vintage switch, and we have all the EQs pretty much at noon. I have the reverb up on, might as well say dot number 1. So we'll go through this and see what it sounds like to give you an idea. We're going to back the gain back halfway and let you hear what that sounds like. And when you do that, you notice that quiets the hum down. That's every amp, so don't freak out if there's hum in the video. So the gain is at noon. This amp does clean up real nice when it comes to the gain. You can get it clean or you can get it to the maximum dirty, and it really dirties up. And flip it to modern with the gain at noon and the rest of the EQs at noon. So the switch on the amp is in the middle position. So let's see what we got. Let's go ahead and turn the gain up. As you can see, the modern really dirties it up, and you can back the gain off and really get that bassy sound, like a modern sound. Then you can get like a hard rock sound, maybe heavy metal sound. We'll go ahead and put it on high gain and leave the gain at noon and the rest of the EQs at noon. It's a little bit of reverb and see what that sounds like. Go ahead and turn up the gain all the way and see what kind of sound we can get with the high gain switch. I really love it. I love the Studio Pro 112, even though that it isn't made in America. I really love it, and who knew you could play some heavy metal on a telly. But no, this amp cleans up real nice for clean things. You can get a muddy clean, or you can get a bluesy clean, you can get a rock and roll clean, you can get a telly clean. This amp offers it all on the clean channel alone, and you can actually take the clean channel and turn it up and set the EQs right and get like a little bit of a distortion, like a natural distortion, and it sounds good. And no, I'm not talking about the speaker, that sound. I'm talking like a natural distortion, which the Peavey's really good about that. Then when it comes to the dirty channel, man, there's so many options. You can, play classic stuff. You can play the blues. You can clean the dirty up where it's just got that mellow sound. This amp offers so much. And then you have the T dynamics, which you can turn it up, which it kind of, represents like a tube amp, pushing your amp. Like I said, I've never really took mine past 50, and I'm not really that low. I'm like on 45. So why do I recommend this amp? If you don't have a lot of money, and you bought say you bought a Gibson or a Fender for a couple $1,000s, and you only have like $200-300 left over, I got this amp for $100. And it's a really good amp. Gig with this amp, it's loud enough to drive the drum player insane. It has all the sound you'll ever need. And like I said, if it fades in and out, not cutting out, but if it fades in and out loud and low, just resolder the joints on all your input jacks and you should be good to go. Why I don't really like the amp, for one, the Studio Pro 112, they downsized the cabinet a little bit. The cabinet size does matter, and it comes with a different speaker. The reason why I don't really like the controls on this one, they're too touchy. I know that could be good and could be bad, but the reverb's too touchy, the volume's too touchy. Like I said, my ears are kind of ringing just because it's too loud to practice with. And you really can't find that fine-tuned bedroom tone. So what you have to do is just basically gig with this amp or practice in a gigging area or something like that. So it's not really a bedroom amp. But overall, it's a really, really nice amp. I give it a 9 out of 10 just because of what it is and how cheap they are. It's a budget amp, and they're workhorses, man, and they are tough as nails. I've never really heard any problems with them. I've heard a few problems like I had, but nobody opened them up to figure out what was going on. You know, this stuff does see moisture, it sees different, places, and your solder's going to get corroded or just old and cracked, and your board's going to get a little dirty. So just keep good amp maintenance. Whoever had this amp didn't really maintenance very good because it is dirty. Like I said, I am going to clean it up. But I love this amp. I love it to death. Make sure you keep an eye out on my Peavey Bandit 112 red stripe. It is made in the USA, and I'll show you the difference between the two, and how the sounds are different and how it's not so touchy. But make sure you keep an eye out for that video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I got more budget gear review. This is what this channel is all about. To buy budget guitars or build yard sale guitars and get budget amps and show you what the best budget amp is, because there's a lot of guitarists on YouTube that focus on the new things that's coming out or the expensive amps that are coming out. A lot of us can't afford $500-600 amps, so I go out and just buy budget amps and what you can gig with. I aim for gigging, not just bedroom use. If you want a bedroom amp, I can recommend you bedroom amps in a heartbeat, but I focus on a live player and what gear is actually good. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave your feedback in the comments below. I love to hear feedback. I don't argue. I just love hearing feedback and what you think. And at the end of the day, I'm not that smart. You're not that smart. You could be smarter than me, but we don't know it all. And at the end of the day, we just play guitars and love collecting guitars. So I'll see you guys next time.